Disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Yo, what's going on? It's a lot. It's a lot of crazy stuff going on right now in the news, man. A whole lot. And especially on like social media, if you're looking on social media, you're on these different platforms, you're seeing all kind of stuff coming out. One of which is Kamala Harris. Obviously, she addressed the nation. So I'm gonna play that for you. Nobody has seen Joe Biden in 5 days. I'm seeing different reports, and I don't know if it's true or not, but a lot of people are saying that he is got a terminal sickness and that he is in like the last stages of it. I don't know how true it is, but yeah, that's being said. What's going on, everybody? I see y'all starting to pop up. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. And one thing happened today when they were doing the Secret Service. They're talking about the Secret Service, the head of Secret Service lady. Yo, AOC came out and actually asked a question that made sense. So there's that. Hunter Biden actually dropped the lawsuit that he had against Fox. I wonder why he did that. Maybe because he had no case because they were telling the truth. That's the only reason why somebody drops a lawsuit. There's a lot. So let me go ahead and number one, before I jump into it and start playing this news, I just want everybody, all the people out there, liberal, lighter skinned Americans and darker skinned American women that are like, oh, I'm voting for Kamala because she's the first black woman or whatever. First off, I don't care about what race she is, right? But I just want to clear up. She's Asian, bro. All right, let's get that understood. All right, but this is what she says that she is going to do for the black community. I want everybody to hear this, just in case you didn't hear it before. You know, I want you guys to hear it right now. So here we go. Here we go.
So by default, it affects Black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you would explore.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit Black children, Black families, Black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this: any policy that will benefit Black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No, because whatever benefits that Black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country. Right?
Yeah, that was said. And by the way, just a disclaimer, like, I'm not trying to get nobody to do nothing. It's no politician to do nothing for Black people specifically. But I just find that to be funny that that's the view that she takes when her and her party spew so much rhetoric about what's not being done for the Black community. Yet they don't bring forth no policy specifically for the Black community, which I'm not asking for. I'm just saying. It's ironic, isn't it? There's that. But now, hold on. I got something else for you. This is going to blow your mind. AOC made sense. She made sense and asked a real good question. And it shocked me because AOC really doesn't say a lot of good stuff. But this time she did. So here we go.
You established earlier that the building upon which the shooter operated from was outside of that established perimeter, correct, for the Butler, Pennsylvania event?
It was outside of our secure perimeter, yes.
Now, that building was, I believe, 500. How far away was that building from the president?
It was approximately 200 yards.
200 yards. Now, the individual used an AR-15 in order to act out his assassination attempt. An AR-15 has a range of about 400 to 600 yards. My question is, why does the Secret Service perimeter, why is the Secret Service protective perimeter shorter than one of the most popular semi-automatic weapons in the United States?
Valid fucking question,
There are a
right?
number of weapons out there with a number of ranges. Again, an advance was completed. The determination of the perimeter, I'm not going to speak to specifics, but there are a number of factors that are taken into account when we determine our perimeter. Some of it has to do with terrain, some of it has to do with buildings, some of it has to do with assets and resources that are available.
And so what I'm hearing is that a perimeter was not established outdoors in an outdoor venue that would prevent an AR-15, which is one of the most common weapons used in mass shootings, from being able to be within the range of Secret Service protection.
A perimeter was established, and even though there were buildings that were outside of that perimeter, it wasn't just that building. There were a number of buildings in the area, and there was overwatch that was created to help mitigate some of those buildings.
So as you've seen right there, it blew my mind to see this. AOC actually asked a valid question. If the range of this is their talking point weapon, this is the weapon that's always in the news, right? Why would you have the range set to half of the range of this weapon? Meaning it's an easy shot. If that would have been a professional shooter, we would be having a whole different conversation right now. You know what I'm saying? If President Trump didn't turn to look at that, we'd be having a different conversation right now. But she asked a very valid question, and it shocked me. It really did. And it raises questions like, why didn't you do that? So then the hole goes deeper, right? The hole gets a lot deeper. Check this out. Let's see where we at here. Here we go. So this woman don't want to answer no questions, you guys. If you could do me a favor real quick before we keep going, please like this video and share this video. I would appreciate it. Here we go.
Director Sheetal, can you please give me the names of the individuals who are in charge of your con-op for the rally?
I'm not going to release names.
Can you give me the
today.
titles? And how
No.
many individuals?
No,
Nothing?
we had a full advance team that was responsible
Who are
for
the,
advancing
how many
the site.
people are the final approval authority?
There are a number of people
Can you
that
give me a
are
number?
engaged in approving
Can you
the
give
plan.
me a number?
No, I do not have
Okay.
a firm number.
Can you just confirm whether or not, I understand this is an open investigation, but in order to dispel conspiracy theories, have you guys been able to subpoena the shooter's Discord records, or has the FBI, to your knowledge?
I believe that the FBI is working on those.
Okay. Is it factual to say that you have not ruled out that the shooter was working with other people or persons?
Again, the FBI is conducting the criminal investigation into
Can
the
you,
shooter.
at least in an effort to dispel conspiracy theories, can you confirm or deny that?
At this time, we do not have that there were any other people engaged.
So you believe he's acting alone?
I do.
Okay. Have you been made aware of multiple eyewitness reporting that there was a second shooter on a water tower?
I do not have any information related to any second shooter.
Okay, the reason I asked that is because according to testimony from multiple witnesses, they did report that. And again, to my understanding, there were over 40 sniper teams that were briefed by the Butler ESU. And I want to make sure that people are aware, if you're saying that there's not another shooter, that we are able to
insane.
clear that information, because from this whole entire briefing, it doesn't seem like much information has been able to get out to the American people. So I'm trying to dispel rumors, as I'm sure you understand. Was it true that Secret Service was present at the Butler ESU briefing?
There was a briefing between the counter sniper teams
Was
that were working
Secret
on the
Service
ground.
present?
Yes, to my knowledge.
Okay, I want to read you a report from people that seem to be throwing you under the bus and stated that they were in attendance and that Secret Service was not in attendance at the security briefing, according to individuals with knowledge, to also include that the AGR building where the shooter Thomas Matthew Crooks was located was actually not a part of their security perimeter for that. So there was not Secret Service present. It seems as though that when you were asked earlier from Rep. Krishnamurthy about whether or not Secret Service was aware of a threat, you had said no, they were unaware of a threat. And yet, according to communications, again, from law enforcement that were in some of these group chats, they actually had reported that Secret Service was made aware of a threat at around 5:59 p.m. as a part of the command, including Secret Service, aware of messages and requests about information about the suspect's location. Can you please tell me if you have knowledge of that at all?
Again, I think we're conflating the difference between the term threat and suspicious.
But you guys did have knowledge at 5:59 p.m. according to those group chats, did you not?
Of a suspicious individual.
Okay. Chairman,
This is disgraceful.
in my opinion, according to some of the testimony today, I feel that you have perjured yourself in some instances. And so I'm going to ask for a full review of the transcripts by staff. And if you find that to be the case, I do ask that you bring perjury charges against the director. I will say this, it is very frustrating, and I've talked to my colleagues and we've said it to your face, that you have been up here basically stonewalling our ability to get the answers to the American people. And what I will also say is that every single member of Congress does not feel safe with you in charge. You have heard that. And I think that we are all sitting ducks with you in directing the Secret Service currently. But more importantly, it sends a message to our adversaries that we are not protected. And we are one of the strongest countries in the world. So you have essentially made us a less safe country because of it. As a result of that, I'm asking you to formally step down. I share my same opinions as my Democrat colleagues. And I also think that your efforts to bring forward a full investigation and report in 60 days is unacceptable. And as a result of that, I'm going to do everything in my legislative toolkit to ensure that that happens sooner rather than later. And I'm sure that you know that we brought a vote on inherent contempt against Garland for essentially blocking a congressional investigation. And I don't think that you should be any different. So I will say that I am just completely disgusted by your performance today. And I understand that you're probably in a position where you're being told not to testify, which is why we had to subpoena you. I think that goes back to Garland. But again, that is part of the flushing that we need to get out of Washington, and I would be happy to assist in that process. Chairman, I yield the rest of my time.
Yeah, this is why I put the title. These things are heating up because people are starting to notice, and this is what's crazy, is it's not just the MAGA side that's starting to ask these questions. Even the left is starting to ask these questions like, yo, something's going on here. And they're starting to really like think about it and pay attention because something ain't adding up here, man. Something is not adding up here. All right, so check this out. We got, where's it at? Right here. Yo, you already know what time it is right now. When MTG takes the stage, she goes in. She goes in. So check it out. I want everybody to hear this one. Yeah, there's a whole lot of reporting all over X, but nothing on the news. They're saying on X, a lot of people are reporting, and so these are supposedly very credible people, are saying that Joe Biden, and this is alleged, all right? This is alleged, that Joe Biden is literally on his last leg. I hope that's not the case. You know, I pray for him, you know, regardless of his politics or his weird shit. I don't wish nothing like that on nobody. He's still a human being, you know, so I pray for him that he's all right, but this shit is getting really, really sticky, man. Really sticky. Check this out.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Cheadle, I'd like to remind you that you're under oath. The site team has a senior supervisor, an advanced team, a protective intelligence team, a counter sniper element, and detail. Who was the agent in charge? How long has she been the agent in charge? And what is her Secret Service background?
So I'm not going to provide a name.
Why not? You're here to answer our
In this
questions.
forum, I'm not going to provide names of.
You stated in your testimony, you said, I am here today to answer your questions.
That is correct.
Answer the question.
I'm not going to provide names of our personnel. to
Why
this
not?
committee Today.
The American people are demanding these answers from you today, Ms. Cheadle.
I will do the best to provide you accurate information based on the facts that I have at this time.
You're not answering our questions. The advance element coordinates with other intel or law enforcement partners, identifies threats and weaknesses at the sites and movements. We'd like a copy of the advance report. Have you brought it here with you today?
We will comply with the request for the documentation that has been requested.
When will that be, Ms. Cheadle? Because you should have brought it today.
I am certain that our personnel are working on obtaining all of that document.
I don't believe you, and neither do the people watching this hearing. You're not doing well, as Mr. Moskowitz informed you. You've been sitting here for over 3 hours, and I have you know the entire country is demanding you resign and demanding that you be fired if you do not resign. Things are not going well for you. You need to answer the questions. Was there a protective intelligence team, and what technical resources were utilized for that event, specifically drone or helicopter assets?
There were a number of technical assets that were deployed for that event, and there was a protective intelligence team that was assigned to that event.
Why was Crooks able to fly a drone over the entire area the day of the rally and the day of his assassination attempt?
To my knowledge, he did not fly the drone over the entire area.
How did he fly a drone over the area, period? Any part of the area?
Again, I would have to go back and check the timeline of when that took place and when the event.
Why didn't you bring the timeline with you today to answer our questions?
I don't have all of the answers on the timelines based on the criminal investigation.
Were you not prepared today to answer our questions?
I am prepared to answer the questions based on the information and wanted to be able to provide.
Do you have a timeline at all from any of the day?
I have a timeline that does not have specifics.
That's shocking. That is absolutely unacceptable. That means you are a failure at your job. Let's talk about things that are prohibited in Trump rallies. And I've been to a lot of Trump rallies. Backpacks and bags, bicycles, firearms, any type of weapon, or any other item determined to be a potential safety hazard, like a rangefinder would be one. At 5:10, Crooks is first observed by one of the snipers, AGR Sniper 1, at the building. 5:10, President Trump was shot in the face at 6:11 p.m. 5:28, AGR Sniper 1 takes a picture of a bicycle and 2 bags. Those belong to Crooks. 5:32, AGR Sniper 1 spots Crooks looking at his phone and using a rangefinder. 5:55, Butler ESU Command confirms receipt of photos and states they have been relayed on. 6:05 p.m., AGR Sniper 1 later communicates that Crooks is seen moving northeast in direction of Sheetz and that Crooks has a backpack. 2 minutes before the shooting, while President Trump has been allowed to take the stage, people see Crooks laying on his stomach in a sniper position on the roof, and they're yelling he has a gun, and they are trying to alert law enforcement and Secret Service. Why was Crooks not shot by the snipers? Why was he allowed to be there?
As soon as the individual was identified as a threat, they were.
No. What do you consider to be a threat? A man with a gun laying in a sniper position, a man that had a backpack, a man that had a bicycle, a man that had a rangefinder. At what point is he determined a threat?
An individual with a backpack is not a threat. An individual with a rangefinder is not a threat.
What about a man laying on a building that has direct line of sight of President Trump with a gun that people are screaming and pointing out? Is that a threat, Ms. Cheadle?
Once that individual was identified, they were neutralized.
No, they were neutralized. Crooks was neutralized after he shot President Trump in the face, Ms. Cheadle. Is he only a threat once he fires the weapon?
As soon as the counter sniper identified that individual, they were able to neutralize them.
How were people in the crowd? Okay, then let's just take it this way. People under your command did not consider him to be a threat, yet people in the crowd knew he had a gun and considered him to be a threat. That means that you are a complete failure as the director of the Secret Service, that people under your command don't perceive a man laying on a roof with direct line to the president with a gun. They don't perceive that to be a threat, yet the people in the crowd do. How is that possible?
That's the last question, but please answer the question, Ms. Director.
I'm not certain at this time how the information from the people in the crowd was relayed to any law enforcement personnel.
No, you knew that everyone knew. The people there knew that there was a danger. They knew there was a threat to President Trump, and it was allowed to happen. Was there a stand down order, Ms. Cheadle? Was there a conspiracy to kill President Trump?
Absolutely not.
Then how did this happen? And why are you still sitting here not turning in your letter of resignation?
Last question, but please answer, and then I'll recognize Ms. Presley. Please answer the question.
That is what we are investigating to determine.
We're waiting for your letter. We are waiting for your letter of resignation, and you really need to consider doing that before you leave today.
Chair now recognize Ms. Presley.
Yo, Marjorie Taylor Greene is a bulldog. Do you hear me? She ripped that woman apart. Straight up. Just real quick. Real quick. So, yeah, man, all this stuff in the news, man. All this, and it's, I don't know. I just don't know. Did they conspire? That's the question. Did people come together and conspire to do what they did or to take the action that was taken against Trump? That's the $1 million question. And where the hell is Joe Biden? You know? They got to be planning something crazy, man. And the reason why I say that is because they know Kamala ain't got a shot in the motherfucking dark of doing nothing against Trump. She's not going to get the fucking vote. She won't. You had Michelle Obama beat her in the polls. You put her up against anybody in the polls, and she's bad. Biden was literally their only real hope. Their only real hope. Ain't no, I just make it make sense to me. Make it make sense to me. And then you got all these people endorsing her, and now they're coming out saying how much money she raised, which is whatever. You know, they're Democrats. The Democrats have a way of raising funds. That has been known. They got like an endless amount of money that they throw at people that they want to be in office. That has been known. They threw an outstanding number at Hillary when she ran, and she lost. The money don't mean nothing. So don't get all hyped up when you see how much money Kamala's raised in one day. That doesn't mean a damn thing. I really believe that Donald Trump is going to win the popular vote along with the Electoral College. 100%. 100%. There is nobody as popular as this man is right now in this country. Now, of course, you got people that aren't awake yet, that don't know, what's going on politically other than what they hear from the news. So you got a lot of uneducated voters still, but you also have a massive amount of people that are waking up and are becoming educated and are switching up what they think politically and who they're voting for. There are people that are saying, you know what, I should have been paying attention 4 years ago, because had I known, matter of fact, right after the election and Joe Biden getting in, and in the first couple months, you had people literally talking about, I wish I would have voted for Trump. And now they got the opportunity. Now they done created a damn superhero. Trump is like a damn superhero out here right now. Straight up. That's all I got. That's all I got. This shit is crazy. Pray for the country. And even if you don't like Biden, still say a prayer for the man, because he's still a person, and he is the president. We got to respect the office, president. But yeah, I digress. I'll leave that there. I hope y'all have a great day. I'll be back on here in a little bit. I just wanted to come and let you guys hear some of this, because it's fascinating how many people, and this is not even all of it. I got more of clips of what happened today. People telling her to step down. The lady asked her right off the bat, like, I'll give you my whole 5 minutes to write up your resignation letter right now. Are you gonna resign? She said no. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right. really, she can't resign. That's what's really going on, because if there was some nefarious plot to do what happened, you know, to make that thing happen, they got to have somebody to stall out what's going on. Right now, she's the fall guy. She's just the fall guy. She's the red herring, you know, to throw you off. That's what I believe. Obviously, I don't know, but this is what I believe. She's there testifying right now. They subpoenaed her. She's there saying what she's saying, not answering no questions, referring everything to the FBI. And the lady, I kind of want to play it, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to hold you guys up. I just challenge all of you to go and watch it. Watch the whole thing, because it was. But yeah, that's all I got. I hope y'all have a great day. I'll be back on in a little bit. All right. Peace.